Oh, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back to the absolute Madhouse. The Madhouse, aye. Aye, yes, aye. just have a look at what's going on in the world. Well, this is Friday the 13th. This is episode 2 of Topic. A Friday the 13th topic, episode 2. Touched on a few things in episode 1. Well, I'm going to get straight into it. So the prophecies. Some absolute mental raving lunatic has decided to fulfill a prophecy. I had a few things in I did a few comedy videos on it. Why? Because I knew, I fucking knew. It's why I did the videos. Every video I do, if I come out and I do a video on certain topics and stuff, you can be a fucking assured someday, somewhere, some fucking mad person will fulfill it. So they've decided to do this prophecy. What's the prophecy? Well, if they take a certain building out of the equation in a certain part of Israel, they reckon that the Messiah will come back. Absolute raving lunacy. Like I said, you're not gonna, I'm going to start this episode with that. There's a particular country, it has a particular area, they are looking for an excuse to take out a building so that they can bring back the Messiah, so they can crucify him again. I see it. I see it. Because you never know, the Messiah might actually already be walking among us. You never know. If you were him, would you reveal yourself? The answer to that would be no. Why? Well, got persecuted and crucified for the first time round. Are you going to allow it to happen a second time? Nope. No, you would not. You would actually have to be absolutely stupid, and I don't think he would be stupid enough to reveal himself to actually to get persecuted for a second time round. I don't. The survey says, nope, absolutely no chance. But anyway, that is also part of the prophecy of the fire horse, by the way, just to put that out there. If you didn't look up the prophecy of the fire horse from like the beginning of the year videos, I highly recommend that you do it now, because it will blow your mind, because it is in full flight now. So some of these videos, and I had a few mental things, few mental comments and stuff, but aye, whatever. Like that was a prediction. There's a few predictions I've done in certain videos, and I wanted to do it. And back on the day I came into the universe, and I thought, nah, because they're going to let it go for a little bit. So the whole thing with the prophecy of the fire horse, they wanted to get it done before Easter. Why? Because they want there's absolute raving lunatics. So there's raving lunatics on both sides of this, right? There's one side that's absolutely hell-bent on death and destruction. But there's a counter to that also, in their own weird way, want the same sort of thing. It's either them or no way. And it's the same with the other side. It's either their way or no way. So either way, either way it's fucked up. It's absolute madness. But anyway, that's what the prophecy of the fire horse is. It's to give us particular country the green light to take out a certain building So in order to bring the Messiah forth. Well, I've always kept it to myself, but now I'm coming out and actually saying, well, what's the chances, what's the likelihood that the Messiah's already walking among us? Would you reveal yourself if you were? I'll ask that question to you, and I'll let you pontificate on that question. This is a question. If you were the Messiah, given the current climate and the way humanity's been over the past 10 years, would you reveal yourself? I'm going to answer that question pretty much straight away. No. If I was the Messiah, I definitely wouldn't reveal. Definitely would not. Why? Because I would not be wanted to be getting crucified and put through the punishment that I got put through the first time round. Just saying. But I'll let you think about that question. And do not be scared to leave a comment in the comment section. Drop a comment down below. Don't be scared. If you were the Messiah, would you reveal your true identity? Because if you did it the first time round, you got persecuted because you didn't fit in and fit the agenda the first time round. Well. Absolute madness, man. Absolute madness. Absolute craziness. Anyway, let's get into another bit of this video. So about the only decent thing the UK's done is we've taken a step back from this one. Why? There's reasons why. There's reasons why. They really didn't want to upset a lot of fucking people, that's why. Because things are already fucking... things are already... The genie bottle in the UK has already been opened to the point where they can't close the bottle, so they didn't really want to be adding fire to that mix. Well, it's already happening, alright? It's already happened. The genie bottle already got opened, so... But we taking a defensive... we taking a defensive stride on this one. Well, meanwhile in the UK, HMS Trotter is sailing with HMS Dragon. They are en route to the Mediterranean, but mainly Cyprus. And while we're here, I'll do a little bit of an update. So the penguins were actually on their way back to Antarctica, got slightly distracted because they heard a lot of commotion happening in a particular area of the world. So the penguins went, well, let's see what's happening over here, guys. They went over and went, oh fuck. And so far, the penguins have not been seen or spotted, so I'm hoping that the penguin army haven't been taken out of the equation. But you never know. The world-led... So the penguin that was blind, well, he's still somewhere off of the coast of Scotland because he can't find his way back south. So there is still penguins kicking about, but the main flummox of the army headed back to Antarctica. They heard a few commotions on the way back home. They decided to go, well, let's see what's happening over here. They went over there and decided, oh, shit. They got a bit too close for comfort. But don't worry, HMS Trotter and HMS Dragon are on their way to save the penguins. So the UK is trying not to get involved. And we've also been called out for that, by the way. It's because we're too heavily involved with Ukraine. as is most of the countries in Europe, but they just don't openly talk about it. But if you read between the lines, while the eagle's going off on a fucking while the eagle's going off on a fucking tangent, why convince everybody it's for liquid gold? So what did they do? Cause chaos in the Middle East over the oil, the flow of oil, disrupt the flow of oil. Why? Because it increases the price, so the price goes up. They hire people to invest their money into certain things. So certain people that operate in the Eagle established order would have had people employed by them to invest money in oil. Why? Because they're going to increase, because they'll disrupt the flow to increase the value, so they make a fucking shit ton. Know that they're already making enough money on the war with Ukraine and Russia, by the way, just putting that out there. But they want to make even more money on the war with a war with the Middle East. The Middle East being Iran, by the way. Absolute madness. And they fucking came after me for kicking the hornet's nest. Well. There's somebody somewhere's decided to fucking fuck it. We're going to go after everybody. This is through the day. And that was the wind house, but we'll see. This is a bit spicy, like, this is a spicy topic. But not to worry. Not to worry. HMS Trotter and HMS Dragon are on their way. On their way to save the day. It's more HMS Trotter, by the way. If you don't know the joke about it, just type in HMS Trotter, it'll come up, and you'll go, oh, thank you. I had a bit of comedy into it because some of these topics are a bit a wee bit spicy, because it's all over the flow of liquid gold. Know that they're already making enough money from their taking out the dictator in Venezuela. That was for liquid gold, by the way, if you didn't know, because just have a look at like the reports on how many barrels that they got, then do a price check on that barrels, and then you'd be like, is this to fund is this to reclaim the money that you've already invested in a war that shouldn't have already been started? Got to read between the lines, dot the I's and cross the T's, and then you'll come to the conclusion that, well, is there also a cover-up from the Epstein files mixed in amongst this? Yes. How do you get out of it? Start a war. Apparently, start a war. Starting a war, you see me get away with murder, literally. Because will they be held accountable for it? No, because it's all justified. Because it's but now that they've done what they've done, it is what it is at the end of the day. I'm sitting back and looking at it and going, know that the world's already fucking chaotic enough, but let's make it even more chaotic, and let's get people even more radicalised on both sides. Because just watch. This is not a prediction. This is a spoiler. This is a spoiler alert for later in about a month, maybe not even that, maybe within a couple of weeks of me uploading this video, just watch the space, because will either side get more fucking radicalised now? Yes. Why? Have a look at what's going on. Because will either side think that either side is justified? Yes. And is it going to cause even more social, and know that there's already enough social divide in the world, is it going to cause even more social divide? Yes. Me, that's in the middle, because I'm on no side, me in the middle can see it. I'm already saying it's not a prediction, this is a spoiler. Because out of all the people that I've been watching on this, doing their own wee takes and stuff, none of them are saying this. None. That's why I've came out today on Friday the 13th. These episodes will be uploaded as soon as I get home. These are uploaded. I'm going to fire in first, because within the next few months, I can assure you, just after the spring equinox, or just around the spring equinox, in around the spring equinox, watch what happens, because there'll be even more social divide. The left and the right, and this whole thing will get even more radicalised. Just watch the space. And that's not just here in the UK, that's in other parts of the world. If you thought that last year and the year before shit wasn't hitting the fan, well, shit is about to fucking hit the fan massively this year. Because, why, I hear you cry? Because there's certain people like myself that can actually see that it's actually a massive cover-up to get a distraction tactic from the Jeffrey Epstein files. And this video will probably get flagged for actually saying it for what it is, but I didn't actually care. This is for certain people that probably get wee snippets of the video and then go have their own conclusion. I highly recommend that you actually go looking this sort of thing up, but you've got to be careful, because not everybody can actually see it, can actually see through the bullshit. Because when I say I can actually see through the veil, seeing through the veil is actually being able to see other things. Even during the day, I see things. I heard a couple of things behind me. I'm in here on my own, but I got up and checked anyway. I knew I was in here on my own, but I'm talking about a very, very spicy topic. I've came in here a few times and talked about Enoch and a few other crazy things. Well, that's because all this stuff that I'm talking about is already in the ether. It's already in the ether. I thought it would come out today, because when I came out it was actually... They weren't actually going to be long videos because it was going to be rainy. But I took a wee bit of time, walked about to try and find a wee sheltered area, and I thought, right, well, the only really decent sheltered area is in here. Didn't really want to come in here and do this video, but I'm here because it's sheltered from the wind, and the sun has decided to come out, which is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Oh, really bright. It's came into springtime, because I've actually... The post for these episodes is actually got daffodils. Daffodils coming into life. Because they want all this done by Easter, by the way. That's the timeline, and that's why it's why the Eagle are a bit pissed off with the UK. But we sent HMS Trotter and HMS Dragon to assist. Don't worry, Del Boy is on the move. Have a look at the episode, it's fucking hilarious. It's one of the best in and around that episode, of HMS Trotter. That season of Only Fools and Horses was one of the best seasons of all time. But anyway, HMS Trotter and HMS Dragon are on their way. They're on their way. They're on their way to give an assist. Anyway, come join me on the next one. Come join me on the next one. Just remember, there's a lot of. This was all done. This is all part of a prophecy, by the way. Just putting that like completely out there. Because I did one of the biggest topics I did during the day was about the prophecy of the fire horse, and then someone decided to go and fulfill it. Because I started getting videos that a lot of people don't get, and there's been a few people that have been like, why don't you live stream and do your own takes on it? And I'm like, nah, I'd rather come outside. I'd rather come outside and do videos. Because I don't always do these kind of videos, but I have to now because it's all part of the ether. It's in the ether. It's in the ether. I've came out on Friday the 13th. And if you don't know what the significance of that is, some heavy shit, some really heavy shit went down last night. And how do you know that? I hear you cry. Well, flight tracker and have a look at what flies overhead. That's all you need to know. And you just need to have a look at where everything's been placed and situated. Got to read between the lines, cross the I's and dot the T's. You'll be surprised. Not a lot of people do it because it has to all be on video format. But nothing wrong with buying a paper and having a wee read of a paper and going, right, cool, that's and then do a wee bit of digging and diving online, and you can go, huh. But with a newspaper, you can read between the lines. You definitely can. Not a lot of people can. But anyway, come join me. Come join me for episode 3 because I'm not holding back. Not holding back. This is a wee funny take on the UK getting involved. Well, the UK are getting involved. We're sending HMS Trotter and HMS Dragon to assist in the Mediterranean. Come join me on episode 3. This is episode 2, over and done. There never will be peace. Alright, just putting that out there. I say it because I believe in it. I believe in peace. I believe in peace and unity. I am at one with the light. The light is at one with me. I come outside because it's the closest I can get to divine. This is my church. Outside, in the middle of buttfuck nowhere, in a random gully, because in Scotland we call these gullies with the burn. Right, I'm just putting it out there. This is why I come here. I want peace and unity because nothing good comes from chaos and destruction. And add a wee prophecy like the prophecy of the red fire horse into the mix, that was written by absolute raving lunatics that were high on mushrooms and fucking tripping their balls off of bergamot wine. Like, and written from a long time ago. Anyway. It'll never happen. It'll never happen. Peace won't come in my lifetime. That you can be assured of. I'm here to witness one thing and one thing only. And I seem to be here to witness chaos and destruction. But anyway, that's another topic for definitely another day. Because I just went a wee bit awry there. Went a wee bit awry. Might do an extra episode. But anyway, come join me on episode 3. Come join me on episode 3. I'll always do peace. There never will be peace in my lifetime. There never will be. I've seen all these proxy wars and wars. I grew up watching the first Gulf War, the shit show that happened in Kosovo, the shit show that happened in Chechnya, the shit show that happened with the war in Iraq, and then the war in Afghanistan, and there's a whole load of other wars that don't get mentioned because you've got some of the wars that have happened in Africa and stuff. But anyway, there never will be peace. I hope for peace. There never will be. But I'll always say peace. It's something I stand for and it's something I believe in. You can call me whatever you want. It's what I stand for. I stand for peace. I always have. Because nothing good comes from chaos, death and destruction. Just putting that out there. Just have a look at history and then have a look at what's happening now. Because modern day history is even more terrifying than our ancient history, and it's just about to get even more terrifying. I already said that things were going to get terrifying in a nighttime video. This is Friday the 13th. The time is... And just to prove that it is Friday the 13th. It's Friday the 13th and it's 12:34. Nothing good comes from chaos, death and destruction. But apparently, what the ego wants is what the ego gets. And what the ego wants is chaos, death and destruction for liquid gold. And they will do anything to get their hands and control the flow of liquid gold. It's just an observation. Peace.